Adventure here, but this time I'm not making the video. Your teacher is, so you better listen to him.
Alright, you guys. We are going to start with two very short videos just on rules for exponential functions. And this one right here, we are going to talk about what that exponent actually means on there, and then understanding integer exponents. So an integer exponent would be a base with any exponent up here without a decimal or a fraction. Alright, so the idea of an integer is going to come into play a lot, so we need to know what that means. Alright, recall that 3 squared are evaluated by representing the base 3 as a factor, that means how many times you multiply it, of the exponent. So 3 squared is really 3 times 3, which we know is 9. What about negative exponents, which is what we're going to be exploring here? What if something has a negative exponent or an exponent of 0? You cannot write a product with a negative number of factors, but a pattern emerges as you start from the positive exponent and divide repeatedly by the base. So if we look at things here, all right, we know that 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. We know that 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. We know that 3 to the first is just 3, which is 3. And I can see that as I move down, what I'm really doing is dividing by 3. All right? So by that, I mean this, right? What if I keep going, right? From 27 to 9 to 3. If I divide by 3 again, I get 1. Divide by 3 again, I get 1/3. Divide by 3 again, I get 1/9. Well, if we go up top, we realize 27 is 3 cubed, 9 is 3 squared, 3 is 3 to the first. Well, if I keep subtracting 1, 3 to the 0 power would be 1. 3 to the negative first power would be 1/3. 3 to the negative second power would be 1/9. It's basically just flipping this over and squaring it. If I said 3 to the negative 2, I'm writing 1/3 squared, which is 1/9. So what we get is when we have a negative exponent, we flip it over. When you come down here, it says words, right? Any non-zero number raised to a power of 0 is 1, which we can see that right here. Right, 3 to the 0 is 1, 24 to the 0 is 1. There's a note that you need, right? This is super important. Test question for sure. Any non-zero number raised to a negative power is equal to 1 divided by that number raised to the opposite positive power. I'll do another one down here. Negative 5, I'm sorry, 5 to the negative second would be 1/5 to the positive second, or 1/25. All right. Now, it says, why does there need to be an exception to the second rule for the case of x to the 0 power? Well, I would say 0, right, to the negative 2 can equal 1/0 to the second, because that would be undefined. We can't have a 0 on the bottom. And we're done with the first page. Talk to you guys soon.